11-day ambassador, and I am also a co-founder of the Holding Frames. So my story of service began when I was 10 years old. My dad was a lieutenant in the New York City Fire Department, and he passed away on 9/11. My dad was the embodiment of service and just what he did in his profession, and especially of what he did on that day. He made it to the 78th floor, and which is on the South Tower, which is the impact zone, and got many men and women home to their families. And so I always felt like my way of continuing my dad's legacy is able to work with the youth, right, and to continue that sense of community and service. And so I've actually, as part of 9/11 Day, which is 9/11 Day is an organization has made 9/11 the largest national day of service. And so I'm a 9/11 Day ambassador, and then I created my own service project inspired by 9/11 Day, and I call it the Spirit of 9/12. We do it down the street from the World Trade Center, and One World is overlooking the park. And so we engage families and kids to engage in an art project, a service project that we use these frames. We do our Holding Frames project, and we send them to other schools and communities. And the reason why I wanted to do on 9/12 is there's something that, 9/11 now, not a lot of our next generation has lived through, right? And so how do we educate the next generation on 9/11? Well, what is that felt experience, that lived experience? And so the days after, when I think of 9/11, obviously there's a lot of profound loss and grief, but the way that our communities came together and, even just lending a helping hand to someone you didn't even know just really stuck with me. And I think those are the things that need to be continued to be talked about and discussed. And part of service, actually, the piece of storytelling. And so, making youth feel that they're part of something. When I think of my 9/12 event, it's about building community, that storytelling piece, and making it relational to kids, that they feel part of something. They have that sense of agency, that they are doing good. There's actually something true when we experience loss or trauma, that sense of isolation. Service creates that barrier to that, right? It actually helps you feel less isolated. It makes you feel part of something. And that's why I think there's a mental health benefit to the service as well, of creating a sense of belonging for individuals. So service doesn't have to be this large, big event. It could just start small. Find something that you're interested in, right? I think that the more that youth can relate to something and then find service through that, the more connected they will feel. It'll feel less transactional. I think that when we think about service, there is this feeling that it, yes, service needs to be structured in our education system, in our communities, but let's make it relatable. Let's make it less transactional. And so I think the way that we can make service more accessible is, I think for the older generation, is modeling service, right? Being an example. But for our youth, engaging in community, right? Getting them into spaces where then they can feel inspired.